Welcome to another episode of Thomas Muse Extra, and this time it's all about our new single, which is This Isn't Rage. I have my friend Naomi here. The reason that I've got Naomi here is, well, number one, she's a really creative person. You do loads of different creative projects. Yeah. She was also my late brother Tryf's best friend. The past few years have been quite tricky for me, shall we say. Not just his passing, but life has just thrown loads of different things at me. Traditional routes haven't really worked for me, like counselling and therapy and stuff like that. So I had a bit of a chat to Ben, and he said, try actually enjoying yourself. Try writing something and channeling the rage that I was feeling at the time, and believe me, there was a lot of anger going on, into something like that. So I did. I went away and I wrote this, not thinking that anything would happen with it, to be honest. I sent it to Ben in a state of anger. And he did something with it, and you have listened to the track, haven't you?
Yeah.
This isn't rage. This is a fire. I am here. And I won't stay quiet.
Wasn't what I expected. But great.
What did you expect?
I don't know. I think I was expecting like a different kind of emotion. You know, a more sort of typical grieving emotion, I guess. But I guess what's really interesting about being here today is that what I've been feeling lately is kind of guilt of feeling angry.
Yeah.
And actually watching that was really helpful.
Oh, that's
to know that
that's nice.
It's okay now to like get to that point of my grief.
Yeah,
know?
Definitely. And I understand the difficulty of that. I don't think I realised that I was feeling angry, and I think only through, like, I don't know, my creative outputs and actually like believing in that and myself, I've been able to like feel that. But I am angry. I mean, nobody really talks about this stuff, and not just at Tryf because of the nature of what happened. I mean, it did like piss me off, to be honest, because I would have liked to have had him here, and I would have liked to have had him listening to this track, because I think he would have related to it.
Definitely. And I think that experience of that type of grief I've only experienced with Tryf, and I think where the anger comes from is knowing who he had around.
Yeah.
I'm at the point now I'm like, I don't think there was an excuse. I feel like there was enough of us, but then the guilt of missing something, and maybe he did call out and maybe that was missed, you know. And it's, you know, I'm at that stage now of feeling sad and upset that someone I love dearly is gone, but also like really questioning like why, and knowing that I'll never have really answer to that question.
Yeah, and people saying like, oh, there's nothing that you could have done doesn't really help, does it?
No, not at all.
You know, that, I mean, the last time that I saw him was at a gig that I was doing photography for, that Ben was playing at, and he was really enjoying it, and then the next day he wasn't here, before, so you know, it's like, thanks for ruining my gig, innit?
If Tryf knew anything, it was how to make a situation slightly uncomfortable. So I'll give him that.
That's a nice lasting memory there. That whole year as well, the past few years, I've had people like really close to me get ill, like physically and mentally as well, and it's just felt like stuff's been coming at me. And you think, you know, if like your brother dies, especially in that way, like that it can't really get much worse than that, but it's not really how life works. I think that's why I'm really like glad that I've got this track as a kind of, I don't know, it's like I've been able to let something off my chest a bit, and to say, you know, just to be a bit more honest and a bit more truthful, and say, well, this is how I feel.
And I think also like that track, if you hadn't, you know, if I didn't know you and I didn't know what you'd experienced or anything like that, I also think that's a really good comment on just like where we're at in the world. Like, everything is shit.
Yeah,
people are mean. There are evil people that are very easily and quickly taking over our system and not being questioned, and they're just getting away with it. And it's like, actually, as women, you know, there's a whole other layer of what we have to tolerate and experience and put up with. And it's like, actually, no, like, no, I'm putting myself out here, whether people like it or not, and telling you how I feel. So yeah, I think there's that angle to it as well, which is
I think that's what because there is that woman statement, like, we are women, all the same statement in the middle of it. And I like wrote that, and then we turned it into a song. I was like, oh no, everybody's gonna start thinking like I'm like a big feminist or something, and I'm like, I'm not, like, no. You know, there's probably some feminist elements in there, but I think for me personally, because I suppose my life as a woman feels a little bit alternative compared to some people in life, like, you know, my sister, or even you know, yourself, your mum, and we've got our differences, but I'm sure that there are some similarities or like things that connect us. And I think actually one thing that people underestimate maybe in women is that, like, you can associate like anger with things like testosterone and stuff like that, but I think actually, like, women have got a hell of a lot of rage in them.
I think we're just smarter at using our rage.
I'm gonna say that. Why don't I put it out there now? Everybody knows. Don't mess with me. I hope that, I mean, I want to do more. Don't know whether, like, Ben wants to do more. I've had enough of trying to turn that into something. He did kind of, I mean, it was pretty, like, amazing, really, that he managed to turn that into a track and get me through doing a music video for it as well, considering my skills. I shared something with you before you actually listened to the finished track, which is like my original self-recording, I suppose. So I played you the original incarnation of This Isn't Rage, which was a bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit gentler.
To be honest as well, it's not like I just kind of rocked up into the studio and I was like, oh right, like, you know, I can play bass now, like, I'm, you know, on the camera, I can, like, do all these things at once. There was a lot of working out, of support and patience.
How long did that actually take you from picking up bass?
Trying to work my way around a bass for, I don't know, maybe just under a year. Maybe that's wrong, I don't know, it's probably quite a bit less than that. But I've been trying to do, like, all the technical stuff. I had a bit of conversation with Ben, and he was like, you know, that's great, but at some point you've got to kind of be comfortable with just having a play on it and enjoying it. So that's why I ended up doing, you know, recording myself playing something as just, I'm just trying this. But when I came down into the studio to do the music video, because he unexpectedly went, all right, I like that, let's do something with it. And I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, we'll do that. And then we were in here and I was like, I haven't really comprehended what needs to go into this, because we were recording and I was like playing, you know, I was playing the bass. I was like, so I got to say the words at the same time. I was like,
and look at camera and look good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it took less time than I thought it was gonna do, but I think that's mainly because Ben really knows what he's doing in the studio, knows how to, like, give direction to people that gets them to get the most out of themselves and to feel confident and just be able to find, like, a focus and stuff like that. And also, like, some editing mastery as well. Like, I don't know how he always does it, because, like, he films the whole thing, you know, and then he goes and edits it. And editing the music and the film, like, I cannot comprehend that fully. He took, like, an idea that I had and then he made it what I'd imagined it to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so, because I couldn't fully get out what I wanted to express just in that initial outburst. And
well, it wouldn't work if it was just the words, or if it was just the bass,
no, it
or
wouldn't,
if it was just the visuals. You need all of those components together, layering, you know, and a bit of extra of that and a bit less of that.
Yeah. So that's a Thomas Muse effect, basically. When we come together, then stuff turns into things that we actually, like, want to put out there. Fuck all of you cunts. Fuck every single one. Fuck all of the grumps. Fuck every single one. And you've actually come and watched some of our Thomas Muse performances. And you saw one at Little Man, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't know what I was walking into.
Sorry.
Because I was wedged between your mum and dad and Tryfan, and then in Little Man Coffee, and I was like, this could be a great little jazz gig. Lovely.
Right at the
and
front,
it was a great little jazz gig with
elements.
with extra elements, which I can fully appreciate.
I remember Trev said after that performance, I heard from my mum, I really enjoyed it, but I didn't expect to see my sister's foof.
I can confirm that is verbatim what he said. Yeah.
So I thought, fair enough. I really enjoyed that because we had a full band, and then got to do some of the nude performance art. I think I'd possibly scared a few of the models that were taking part as well. And there was a crowd of builders outside with the phone lights, candles. So,
but I kind of love. I mean, my line of work, it's not what you do, but we do a lot of walkabout theatre, art in public space, and I just love the baffled bemusement on people's faces when they interact with that stuff. And it might be the most simple thing of, someone dressing up like a chef going out onto the street. It feels really simple, but it's when you see someone's first time interacting with art and creativity, I think that's a real privilege. And so, those builders might have been laughing to themselves, but actually they would have walked away from that going, that was actually interesting, and I wonder what the message was in that. So,
causes a ripple or something.
Yeah, I hope it does anyway.
Obviously, as one of Trev's closest friends, you came to his funeral, and I remember hearing a beautiful piece that you'd written, a tribute to Trev, which was really lovely. And then you had to listen to my statement that I made, which, let's face it, was pretty out there, I think, in terms of how funerals normally go. I mean, I'd written something, I'd gone out with Ben to the seawall, actually, which you'll probably know, because it was something that I found quite peaceful, and I was like, I'm going to have to say something at his funeral. I can't do something that's all polite and stuff and the usual stuff, because that's not going to feel right for me, and also I just can't do that right now. It was kind of such a sudden rebellious thing, in a sense, that he'd done. It only kind of felt fitting to have a kind of response to that of some sort. So I wrote something with Ben and read it out, and it was quite rude, very explicit actually, very raw. And looking back on it, and I don't think I realised this at the time, I think a lot of the feelings and the things that I said in that, poem, kind of foreshadowed the track that I've put out there now, and elements like the rage and trying to take something from it, something out there, something that fits with me, that makes sense.
Being there in that moment, obviously I'd written something that was far more kind of explaining kind of what my relationship was and what I knew his relationship was like with other people. I think people were very confused, obviously, with Trev's passing, and I kind of wanted my kind of eulogy to kind of calm people and know that, although we might disagree with why this has happened and how this has happened, ultimately, and our other friend Jenna kind of gave me this wisdom that kind of stopped me in my tracks of being that wasn't my choice to make. He made that choice, and actually I can sit with that and think I might disagree with it, but in that moment he did what he felt he needed to do, and that is what it is. So that my kind of eulogy was more about that, and had moments of humour as well. And then actually you and your sister, the way that you explain things and the way that you particularly explain things and said things, just made it the most, if this sounds really bizarre, the most perfect Hobbs funeral I have been to, which is equally horrid thing to say, but at the same time, Trev did not go through life doing things as people expected, and I think that's a good way to be sent out. I think it probably started before that as well, because when I think of Trev as a being, he was really against the grain, although he followed suit and got the job and did the things, got the flat, all the things that you expect someone to do. He didn't do it in a gentle way. He made it known how uncomfortable certain things made him, and why he had to do certain things to be able to pay bills and do all that shit in life. And this is where you and Trevor are probably quite similar in kind of calling out that stuff as and when. So that moment felt perfectly right for you and how you felt about your brother and probably what he was feeling at the time as well. I think grief is such a weird thing, isn't it? But it does have its natural rhythms of when you start to feel certain things, and the sadness, you know, slowly kind of changes into what the fuck.
Yeah, it does. What you said about similarities between us as well is like spot on, because I mean, we literally did do some things like exactly the same, and I haven't realised a lot of this until later on, as I said, like life has caused me to have to look at myself and realise I'm probably not the person that I thought I was underneath. And me and Trev had a lot of similarities. We pretty much took the same path, like in our like office jobs, quite literally. He was very explicit about that he hated every single job that he did, and it was pretty soul destroying. And I remember having that exact conversation, like, I've got to get out of this job and I need to be doing art because it's going to finish me off otherwise. But also all of the little things, like, so all of the stuff that we've had, you know, people getting ill and him passing and everything, has caused a kind of, the only way I can describe it is a volcano of emotions to finally erupt. And it's everywhere now. It's bubbling right down the hill. It's at the villagers. It's at the people. You know, those are.
I think what we see now with Trev passing is the waste. You know, the waste of talent that maybe not everyone knew he had because they might have only seen his drag. You know, I remember those early days of him playing the trumpet and the piano, and just how incredible of a musician he was as well. I'm angry that I'm never going to hear him play. And I thankfully have a video of him playing piano at my wedding that I will hold so like dear to my heart forever. That annoys me that, you know, someone didn't feel like they were worthy of being listened to. Probably what you're feeling now is, I'm not going to waste that. This feeling that I have, I'm going to make it known and let it known, and whether people like it or not, who cares?
Exactly. When we were always, as Thomas and Muse, we were always trying to involve him and stuff like, like not too long before he passed, we were rehearsing with him and trying to get him involved in stuff because he was a bit more out there. I felt like I had, I guess, a kindred spirit sounds awful, doesn't it? But there was somebody in the family that was kind of not doing, you know, doing the naughty stuff, like, you know, you shouldn't really do. So I felt like it was kind of appropriate to involve him. So unfortunately didn't get to do that with him. But I hope that the spirit of him and those elements of him lives on in the music and the art and things like This Isn't Rage, I hope.
Fuck all of you cunts. Fuck every single one. Fuck all of you cunts. Fuck every single one. Fuck all of you cunts.
It's going to be like a therapy for me to, I know, when the works this time, instead of hitting out at all the people that I really care about, which I've definitely been doing. You know, you get angry with people and you take it out on people that are close to you because they're there, you know, and I can channel things, like some of the similarities that me and Trev had, like the OCD, the ups and the downs, the, like, you know, the anger.
But challenge it as well, because, you know, it wouldn't be right for you to lash out and hit out and just cause destruction along the way. Actually, people that are close to you can also hold you account to say, you know, this isn't right, you need, you know, support, how can we work together and how can we communicate better about certain situations, because I'm sure, you know, for the family it's ripped something apart, and there's, you know, trying to cover some things up that, you know, we don't want to show, but it's, you know,
it's exposed a lot of traits and stuff like that. And I think you're totally right about accountability. Like, you know, this thing, like, this isn't rage, this is a fire. Like, it is something that's going to continue to burn, but much like you said, you can't just take it out on people. It's not right. And people should be able to say, like, you know, people do understand as much as they can what you're going through, and they do try and help, and I've had so much support, like from you, from my family, from Ben and the rest of the team. You know, there's been like unlimited amounts of support, but it kind of is your responsibility at the end of the day to express what you're going through, whether it's grief or rage or anger or, you know, whatever emotions. You know, I hope that you can take something from
Yeah,
it. You said that it helps
I walked
you,
in today not really knowing what to expect. I know it'd be slightly alternative, which I'm a big fan of. I like that it's got to this point because I've been feeling those kind of emotions internally and not really knowing, and feeling really guilty that I'm thinking certain things and I'm feeling certain things and I want answers to certain things that I know I'm never going to get an answer for. So yeah, it's knowing that that's okay. Those feelings are okay, but actually there are people around to communicate with and be pissed off with. And yeah, so thank you.
So I hope that you don't feel like you have to stay quiet, and if you want somebody to talk
I
to,
appreciate that.
I'm here, and you know I'll be shouting about something. Thanks very much, Naomi. I really appreciate you coming to do this, because I know that it's a really sensitive subject. Even though, you know, we've been talking about the single, I know that because some of it is rooted in all of that stuff. I do appreciate you know, saying how you actually feel. So thanks.
Thank you.